today's show, we have the lovely Danielle and the lovely Celia. Today's topic of discussion is who should pay on the first date, guy or girl?
All the time, guys approach girls, they ask for their number, they ask, so if you're coming to me and saying, do you want to go out, why am I expected to pay? So in that sense, in the initial stages of like dating, I believe that the men should pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also agree with you, Danielle, because if you're asking me out, why shouldn't you pay?
Exactly, I agree.
If you like the guy, why shouldn't you pay on the other hand?
But it's not about liking the guy, because initial stages, you don't really know them. It's a stage of getting to know the person. So
it's kind of like, say I said to you, come round to my house for dinner, then I send you to Sainsbury's to buy ingredients. Did you tell me that you wanted me to cook for you? Like, and also I feel like it just shows, although like we do live in the new millennium and there are equal rights, I still believe in courtship, and I think that's part of it, definitely. It just shows that, you know, I don't know, it's that sense of taking care of the woman. I know it sounds maybe a little bit old-fashioned, but for me personally, I just think that's the way I was brought up, and it's just what I would expect. And then it would make me so comfortable when it gets to say the third date to say, do you know what, babe, I've got this kind of thing.
Yeah. On the first date, I would still suggest to pay. I wouldn't expect him to
100%,
because I've also got my money.
Yeah, you suggest to pay, and hopefully they will decline.
Yeah.
It's not because you don't want to actually pay. For me, it's like, I mean, it's that sense of I've got you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
exactly.
But as a guy, sometimes guys want to know that as a woman you have him as well.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
It's true.
And if I was coming to your house for dinner, I would bring a bottle of wine.
You bring a bottle of wine.
And that's what I will offer.
Expect dinner though.
I would as well.
That's why you'll be polite and offer. Say, yeah, I can contribute, and that's when he shuts you down and says, no,
And if he doesn't shut you down,
then it might be last date.
There was a time where I was going to pay, but then I met up this guy, decided to go for drinks. Went out, conversation was flowing, drinks was flowing, it was a good night. And then the waiter comes over, puts the bill down. I said, oh babe, let me get this. And then with confidence, he said, no, babes, you can't come here and I expect you to pay. I got this. I said, all right, cool. You know, that's a gentleman thing to do. And then he puts his card into the machine and then he gets declined. You get declined, but you're ordering drinks after drinks, but you don't even have money in your account. So what's going to happen now? If I don't have money, what are we going to be running out of the restaurant together and meet at a meeting point? I'm confused. This is why, whenever you go on a date, always have money.
So I'd also like to touch upon the point that we campaign as women this day and age so much for feminism, equal rights.
100%.
So if we go hard on those sort of topics, why don't we want to pay half? Why don't we want to pay for the man? Because we campaign so much about that.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes back to how we are socialised. Because we're only socialised into the traditional way of men pay, but we want to campaign so much for equal rights, equal pay, equal everything.
I think, you know, because I do have an element of feminism in me.
Yeah.
It's not so much, I want a guy to pay for me all the time, because hell no. Yeah. I never want to depend on a man, and I don't think I ever will, apart from my father. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's a thing where it's, like I said, the courtship of it.
Right. Yeah.
It will make me feel like, okay, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think especially on the first date.
Yeah, that's what it's just, the first date.
But like you were saying, there are people that even first, second, third month, year, they still expect my man to pay.
Hell no.
I don't feel like that.
No.
Once you get into your relationship, you need to hold your man down, like you were saying, and also it's like they're gonna have ups, they're gonna have downs. It's that thing was you need to know that he's got you, and he needs to know that you've got him. That's how it goes.
If you think about it, when you're actually in a relationship and you're together and it's like you won't actually be expecting your partner to take you out all the time.
You don't even care who pays.
Right.
Exactly. It's just, I got this, you got this, whatever.
Literally. You
one
get
pays
that
for cinema, one pays for dinner.
Yeah.
Well, you know that one pays for the ticket, one pays for the popcorn.
Or it's like, babe, I paid last time. Pay, man. Do you think that men are intimidated by successful women or women that are go-getters?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
if a guy is not doing what he's supposed to do, for example, he doesn't have a good job, has a lot going for him, doesn't have the mind frame, and the girl's got everything, I don't know how that's going to work out. If you're not on the same page.
I don't even feel like it's that. I think even if the man is making money, if the woman is making more money, it's a problem. I see it as a problem because, like we're saying, like with our tradition or whether it's biblical, the man's supposed to be the provider. He's supposed to hold the woman down, whether she's working or not. He's supposed to be the provider. So when that kind of changes and the woman is maybe paying more, the guy I feel like the guy feels intimidated because he feels like he's not doing what he's supposed to do. And we can be honest, sometimes some girls, you know, when it gets to a stage in an argument, we can use it against them.
You ain't working, you pay for them shoes.
It'll be like, you're going out, you're not going out today, excuse me, are you paying for me going out?
Yes.
So obviously girls, we are to blame because we need to realise if we are maybe paying more, we still have to realise that he's the man of the house and we need to give him that respect, but it's kind of hard. And also, I think because men crave for that, I wouldn't say use the word control, but you know, because like just being the head of the household. So once they lose that, that kind of leads to, you know, insecurities and other stuff. Maybe finding other girls that are, you know, lower that they can kind of be that kingship because he's not doing it in his household, so he can find somewhere else.
But
so it's finding the balance.
Sorry to cut. Yeah, again, I feel like it comes back to this thing of this day and age, we live in an equal society. The same amount of women and the same amount of men go to university. The same amount of women and the same amount of men are in career positions. For example, in law, there's a higher amount of females now than there were before. So it outweighs how many men there are. So in certain situations, you in this day and age, I feel like a guy should know that could be a potential. And in most cases, there are. Like, for example, recently I had a friend say that they feel like, you know, that like maybe I look down on them. And I asked, why do you always make that comment? And they was like, maybe I feel insecure. I said, why do you feel insecure? Because you're where you are and I'm where I am. But my response to that was, don't watch where I am, focus on where you are, because we both have different paths to take. So
If you want to take part in today's debate, leave a comment down below. And to keep up with us and all upcoming episodes, follow us at LussoLDN.